podcast is back. We're getting ready for winter sports here, starting in a few weeks. But in the meantime, we thought you'd be the perfect person to kick things off with.
Thank you.
Jacob Cookingham last week.
Last week,
Last week committed to University. Is it Kansas University or University of Kansas?
University of Kansas.
Okay, because I always see KU.
Yeah,
To me, I read that as Kansas University, but
I always thought it was weird too, because the University of Kentucky is UK,
hmm,
but KU's University of Kansas.
gotcha. So I guess the easiest congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
The easiest question to start with is why'd you choose Kansas?
Um, that's a great question. Thank you. I kind of chose Kansas to further my academic and athletic career, but I chose it because one, I had a really strong connection with the coach, Doug Reynolds. He's an amazing coach. Our personalities mash very well, and I felt very comfortable with him. My parents both really liked him, but also the school itself was great academically. They offered the exact major that I wanted to pursue and also the exact master that I wanted to pursue as well. And when I first stepped foot on campus, it felt like home. And I knew that was the school for me.
So is he the track and field coach for everything, or is he like specifically the throwing coach?
He is specifically the throwing coach. The head coach is Stanley Redwine.
Okay. I'm glad you know your stuff because I got some Kansas trivia coming for you later.
Sounds good.
When did you receive your first offer from any school? Like when did you know that you were gonna have a chance to do this in college?
So as a sophomore, June 15th, my sophomore year is when the first schools started reaching out to me. I think I had three schools reach out to me that day, and then it was kind of just from that point on till last week. I had a bunch of schools reaching out to me and just having conversations, phone calls every week with multiple coaches and getting to know each of them.
And so when you were like narrowing it down, how many schools did you actually go and see?
I went to go see five schools in total. Would you like me to name them?
Sure.
Okay. I visited Dartmouth College first, and then my second visit was the University of Kansas. Third visit was Arizona State. Fourth visit was Texas State, and my last visit was the University of California, Riverside.
Gotcha. So talk to me more about the visit to Kansas. What was it about? Like you said, you stepped on campus and it just felt right. What was the process? What did they do with you when you were there?
Yeah, of course. I've been having phone calls with Coach Reynolds up following to that point, and then so they booked a plane ticket for myself, and then my mom bought her ticket, and me and my mom both flew out there, and we stayed there for about we. So the official visit was technically 48 hours, but we flew in the night before. We stayed in our hotel, and then official visit started on that Friday, like that Friday morning when Coach Reynolds picked us up for breakfast. So he'd pick us up from the hotel, we'd have breakfast, and then we'd walk campus, have meetings with all the different people that I would see and interact with on a daily basis. So that was the academic advisor for the student athletes, the head coach, the throws coach, obviously, and then all the other track and field coaches, members of the team, the equipment advisor, the athletic trainers for track specifically. And then I also got to meet with the head KU leads, which is um a bettering trying to think of the word for it, but it's basically a program where they have they help the athletes succeed in life, career advising and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
then so I got to meet all of them. I even got to meet the dean of the major that I wanted, sports management, which was really cool to get to talk to him and plan out my major and stuff like that. And then I also got to see a practice. We went to lunch. And then on Friday, I got to see a football game. I got to see the KU versus TCU football game where Kansas got their first loss, unfortunately, but it was a great game,
That was
great
on their first
experience.
loss. I
Yeah.
know TCU's undefeated. They beat my Texas team last week,
Yep.
unfortunately.
They KU was 5-0 going into the game versus TCU.
Ouch.
It was a really close game for a while.
So obviously the seasons are different than like the sports seasons in college, and even Division One is probably different, but most people are used to here like the fall, winter, and spring.
Mhm.
So do you throw all year or is it a specific season that you're competing in?
So so when I go to KU, I would be training in the fall,
Mhm.
and then we would start competitions in January, and then competition season will go from January till June, and then I'll come home for the summer, and then I'll go back early August, I would assume, start fall training again.
So sometimes you'll be throwing indoor, sometimes outdoor. It all depends on the time of the year.
Yes, sir. So from January to March, it'll be indoors, and then from the end of March till June, will be outdoors.
Okay. Um, so what is it? I mean, obviously you're a strong guy. Everybody can tell that from looking at you. But
Thank you.
obviously the sport is about a lot more than just strength because you're not the strongest person in the world.
Nope.
But there's obviously something about you that you're doing differently or doing better than just the strength component of it that puts you at that elite level. And what is that?
Well, thank you.
Help us understand that.
Of course. So I've always said, even in my college essay, I wrote my college essay about the connection that I had between physics and shot put that helped me succeed. But shot put is the perfect combination between strength, speed, and agility. And so I feel that I have good characteristics in all three of those categories to help me to succeed, but also how I'm training and my technique and how I'm throwing also allows me to get more out of my throws than my other competitors.
And I know that at first it was just primarily shot put, but then you started doing some discus as well.
Yes, sir.
How do those compare? How do they translate? Is there
Um,
overlap or not really?
there's kind of an overlap. The fundamentals for the techniques are very similar. But the discus is a little more um less strength based, I would say, than it is shot put because you still need to have the horsepower to throw the shot far,
Mhm.
where you can be a little bit weaker in the discus and still throw pretty far.
Will you be doing discus as well at Kansas or just
No,
shot
I
put?
will not.
I just want you to specialize.
I'll be doing shot put and then do a little bit of hammer as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Have you done that before?
I have not. I'm
Oh,
excited to try
that's
it.
exciting.
Thank you.
So one thing I've been thinking about that I'm curious about is like, not in a cocky way, but you're if you're one of the top few throwers in the whole country,
Mhm,
then like your throws right now must be like pretty high up there for like what Kansas team throws now.
mhm.
Is that right?
That'd
Or
be
does the age like when I mean obviously like your body maturing from 18 to 22 is like a big time for getting stronger and everything, but like if you were there right now, where would you be factoring in to their throwers?
So KU doesn't have a overly large amount of shot putters.
Mm.
I'll be coming in as one of their main shot putters. There's currently one main shot putter there now. His name is Patrick Larison. Hey Patrick, if you're listening. Um, but he is the main shot putter there now. But so I'd be going back and forth with him as number one or two. So right now look, I'm throwing the 12-pound shot, and then when I go to college, I throw the 16.
Uh,
But I do train with the 16 now, and I have thrown it decently far for my age. I've thrown it 60 feet even, which is a very big accomplishment, especially at 17 years old, excuse me. And that would place me pretty well in the NCAA currently.
so I actually read today that the first college in the country
Hmm.
to have three 60-foot shot put throwers at the same time
Hmm.
was Kansas. Did you know that?
I did,
That's
yeah.
so random. It's
They
really
went one.
funny.
They swept the entire NCAA. They went one, two, and three.
What year was that? I missed it. Or what, like decade was it?
I think it was the 50s. I think it was 56. I might be wrong on that, but
That's
it
pretty
was
wild.
around there.
So they do have a good legacy, definitely, of shot
Oh,
putting.
absolutely.
That's exciting to get to join that.
It is. They have another alumni of the school is Al Order. He is an Olympic gold medalist.
Mhm.
He won it multiple times. I don't remember the exact number, but he was also a big alumni for KU as well.
So it's probably hard to answer, but what do you think is the thing you're most excited about for starting there next year? Just going in general, or
I would say going there in general, but also being able to dedicate more time to my throwing and taking more of a methodical approach
Mhm,
and taking and being able to work with some of the best coaches and the best trainers in the world as well.
mhm.
And also being able to pursue the major that I'd like to get my degree in and master's as well.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, time for some fun. It's Kansas trivia.
Okay.
But you sound like you know your stuff pretty good so far.
For track, I don't know.
Where it's not all about track. Where's the
Okay.
main campus of Kansas University located? What city?
Lawrence, Kansas.
Okay, that's correct.
It'd be pretty bad if I got that one wrong.
What is the mascot of Kansas University?
Jayhawk.
Good. What's the phrase that they say?
Rock Chalk.
Rock chalk Jayhawk or just rock chalk?
Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Okay.
So at the football stadium I went to on my official visit, one side of the stadium would yell Rock Chalk and the other side of the stadium would yell Jayhawk. And it was a very I wouldn't say menacing, but it was very cool. It was definitely very cool. It was so cool.
All right. What year did Kansas open?
Ooh.
It's a little harder. They get a
Yeah.
little harder.
I would assume so. Um
Or just a decade. Try a decade.
I want to say 1870s.
Ooh, very close. 1866.
Ooh,
Or I guess technically it opened in 65, but the first class
was 66?
occurred in 66. So you were
Okay.
pretty close. That was pretty good.
Okay.
This one, really tough.
Okay.
What was the tuition cost in 1866 when it opened? Take a guess. You wouldn't possibly know, but take a guess.
Ballpark? Back then, I don't know. 200.
$30.
$30? Holy crap. All right. Very cool. All right.
What is the current student population of Kansas?
I want to say around 35,000.
Close. About 28,000 right
Okay.
now for the 2022.
Okay.
And then who's the most famous sports coach in Kansas history? There's only one answer.
The fog.
Nope. Well,
No?
no, I mean,
Yes.
maybe to.
You gotta beware the fog.
Okay, I was gonna ask you about that, but I saw that online. I was like, he's not gonna know what that is, but you did know what that is, so that's pretty good. Are you in contact with like any of their athletes there now?
Currently, yes. A bunch of the athletes and I keep in contact. Patrick Larison, their best shot putter right now, and keep in contact as
Where's
well.
he from?
He's from Oklahoma. I don't know the exact town, but I know he's from Oklahoma.
So, the most famous coach in Kansas history is the guy who invented basketball. Do you know what his name was? You're not a basketball guy.
I'm not a big basketball guy.
Dr. James Naismith
Yeah.
coached at Kansas. He literally invented
Invented
basketball. That's pretty famous.
Should have known that.
But
There was a whole shrine to him. I didn't.
so he coached at Kansas, but he actually was in Massachusetts when he invented it. He was at a YMCA in Massachusetts, which is pretty wild at a summer camp.
That is very wild. That's cool.
All right, that's it for trivia. Now I have another game. So you said you train with a 16-pound shot put.
Yes, sir.
So you have spent a lot of time with that shot put ball in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a good understanding of how much it weighs.
Mm-hmm.
I have a list of 10 items. I'm going to ask you whether you think they are lighter or heavier than a 16-pound shot put.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Yep.
First up is a bowling ball.
Equal. The same mass. Technically, this different weight.
Did you know this already?
I kind of did.
Okay.
I know they're the same mass, but depending on what bowling alley you go, sometimes they have lighter bowling balls.
Right. Well, yeah, there is a 16-pound one, but I'm saying like most of the ones that
Most of the
people
ones are
see-
lighter.
Yes. All right. Your average 40-inch flat screen TV.
40-inch. I want to say heavier.
It's lighter.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
about 12 pounds.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
weird because it's obviously very different shape.
Yeah.
Sledgehammer.
Lighter.
Correct. A large watermelon.
Lighter.
It is also lighter. An average push lawnmower. Not one that you ride on, one that you push and
Push.
walk behind.
Heavier.
It is heavier. That's right. Average dog crate.
Lighter.
A dog crate is actually heavier. They
Really?
seem like they would be lighter.
Yeah.
Nope. A house cat.
Where's the house cat live, huh? Because sometimes they're really fat too. I don't know. I want to say lighter.
Lighter is right. Yes. Bicycle.
Uh, Heavier.
Bicycle is heavier. That's right. A car tire. Average car tire.
Just rubber with the rim too.
I'm assuming with both.
Okay, heavier.
Heavier. And then a gallon of paint.
I would say equal.
It's according to this, a gallon of paint is slightly lighter than a shot put. All right, not bad. You did like 80%. That's pretty
Mm,
good.
thank you.
All right, now it's time for rapid fire. So these you got to answer quick. First thing that comes to your mind. Don't think about it too long. Just go.
All right,
Okay.
sounds good.
Besides Kansas, of all the places that you visited, what was your favorite city? Not necessarily a school, but city that you went to.
I did really enjoy Kansas. I would definitely say Riverside, California, or San Marcos, Texas. They were really cool.
Favorite movie?
The Godfather.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Love that. One or two?
One.
I think two's better. I love them both, but I
Yeah, they're
think two's
both really
better.
good. I don't know. I
Good for you.
controversial opinion. Godfather 3 is better than Godfather 2.
Yeah, we're just gonna move on. One thing that you have in your fridge at all times.
Milk,
That's what everybody says. What's the best thing that you cook yourself?
steak.
Really?
Yep.
It's something you've always wanted to do or wanted to try, but you were afraid.
Skydiving.
Mm. What's your karaoke song?
Fly me to the moon.
What's the one accomplishment that you're most proud of?
2021 Junior Olympics.
I would say signing for Kansas
That,
should be up there.
well, I was thinking competitions,
Yeah, no, I
but
get it.
signing with Kansas is the most important day of my life.
Well, so the next question is, what's the most memorable career moment so far? So I
Signing with Kansas.
okay. Favorite food?
Milk. I'm sorry. Food. Either ice cream or pizza.
Okay. And then what's your favorite staying game that you've been to? So not a track and field event, like
Not
what's
track and
as
field.
a fan, what's the favorite thing that you've gone to?
Um, Definitely the homecoming football game was very cool this year.
Who do we play?
Uh,
Archies?
Archie's, yeah, Archbishop Williams.
Yeah, we lost.
Yeah. I enjoyed the crowd and actually, I have a different answer. I think it was the game against New Bedford High, maybe, when I got honored at the halftime.
It wasn't New Bedford.
No? All right.
What game was it? Cathedral, I think.
Was it Cathedral?
Or it was supposed to be Cathedral, and then we had to push it back. The best game this year had to be Dartmouth.
Yeah.
Dartmouth was amazing. Were you at that one?
No, I wasn't. Did we win?
We did.
Oh, awesome.
9-7, first game of the year.
That's
All
good.
right, that's all I've got.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
No,
Good luck to you, sir.
appreciate it. Thank you.